The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Wednesday morning. Almost forgot what day it was, but it is a Wednesday morning. We are live right here all over our various social media channels. We got the Crooked Commish who tuned in and said, "What's good, Money Mike? What's good, Crooked Commish?" First comment of the day. I got to have like a sounder for the first comment of the day, like a bam, 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 bam. Just anything like that I can do. I got to start working on like more production stuff for my show. Especially now that I'm going to have more time, much more time to be able to dedicate to all the little silly things that I want to be able to do on this show. Okay. So as a reminder, if you're in the El Paso area, even if you're not, let's make this a national brand. Ask for crushed peanuts at your local vendor, your local spot, whatever your bodega is, any of that stuff. Ask for crushed peanuts. Visit them online at crushpeanuts.com to learn more. 9 grams of protein, the best way for you to start your day, the only way that you can crush your workout and crush everything else that you've got going on in life. Crushedpeanuts.com to learn more. We got new flavors. Hopefully Augustine will join in and give Beastrilla his package. That came out wrong. Send Beastrilla a few samples is what we meant to say. That's what we meant to say. Not Augustine giving Beastrilla his package. Shout out to our dude, One Ass Cheek, Three Toes, the podcast over there, the Crooked Commish with the Chicago Clubhouse Network. I'm thinking of like starting something here in El Paso similar to that. Tommy Canazzo tuning in saying, "What's good, fellas? What's good, Tommy? Hope that you're having a good day." Beastrill saying, look, he wants to make one thing clear. One thing clear. He does not want Augustine's package. I think that's a consensus by every living human being that they don't want Augustine's package. Augustine saying, "Why can't I hear anything?" That's a you problem, my guy. Apparently everyone else can hear me. So, yep, I can hear myself. So that's how I know this is a you problem. You know what? The reason why you probably can't hear anything is because you are in the shower right now with all the water going on around you, and you forgot to turn the volume up. Tommy's saying, "Clean your ears." That's an easy one, right? All that money, braggadocious about all that stuff. Bistrell saying Augustine's package don't want his package. That's wild, man. That's a good one. That is a good one right there. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. Obviously, today's a Wednesday. We got the lazy river going on. We're just chilling. We're having ourselves a good old time. Augustine finally able to listen into the show, saying, "Hey, what happened?" Not much. We were just talking about packages. That's all it was. Augustine, I didn't get to read your jokes yesterday. You sent me a ton of jokes on WhatsApp, so I'm gonna. Is this a platform for me to read some of these jokes? I go, that one's pretty bad. Why are priests bad at racing? Because they always come a little short. I'll have to read the other. If you're saying no, not to read it on the air, then I guess I'm not going to read it on the air. That'll be the way that it goes. I do want to give a shout out though to my dude, the Crooked Commish, who yesterday on his show, once again with the Chicago Clubhouse Network, had former Chicago Bears quarterback Eric Kramer on the show with them to talk about the loss that they had to the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions. Augustine saying that's not a good sound to make after reading those jokes. LOL. I don't even know what sound I made. I think I made the like I was disappointed sound. Like I was expecting it to be funny. That was kind of like, I guess, you know. Nonetheless, it is a sports day, a lazy river. I am going wherever this conversation leads me to. Y'all are in charge. This is how it's going to go. But I'm starting off today with Major League Baseball. Augustine asking if I wore my Cowboy stuff. That's not this week. That's on Sunday. So on Sunday, we're going to get that. Oh, God. Bistrell saying, what do you call Winnie the Pooh's grandma? I don't know, Strillo. What do you call Winnie the Pooh's grandma? I am on the edge of my seat waiting for this answer. I can imagine that as Bistrilla is typing this answer out, he is laughing as like all hell. So the answer is, what do you call Winnie the Pooh's grandma? Earmuffs, Tommy's kids. You call her Pooh Nanny. That's actually funny. That is actually funny. Atletico de Madrid versus Liverpool Champions League match today. You know what? I might watch that. I got to go to work. I got to have something on the TVs to check all the different TVs at the baseball stadium because apparently there was something up with some of the TVs over there. So I might as well just put that on. And then I'll be able to see the game all throughout the stadium. The perks of being able to put whatever you want on the TVs. Like we had the baseball game going. And what did we have on Sunday during that afternoon baseball game, that morning baseball game? Nothing but the Dallas Cowboys on TV. We even made the announcement that the Dallas Cowboys won. And you had all these Dallas Cowboys haters in the stands just booing like a bunch of nerds who'd never been laid before, that can't talk to girls. Like, boo the Dallas Cowboys. Grr, I'm angry that they won. Good. Be angry. You virgin. I am on one today. Tommy, I apologize for whatever comes out of my mouth. This show should start with a disclaimer now that I think about it. Whenever I'm in these moods, guys, I didn't get much sleep last night. I am sleep deprived. I am wired. I found out that I'm extremely OCD. I already knew about the OCD part, but like now extremely OCD. I was watching baseball yesterday, watching the Padres just suck against the New York Mets. Yeah, 8-3. 7 runs in like the first 2 innings for the Mets. And then what was it? I guess 3 solo home runs for the Padres throughout the game. It was just a bad game. And I had faith. I had faith in the San Diego Padres that they'd be able to do something. And I'm looking at the standings right now. In the American League East, the Toronto Blue Jays are now the best team. I guess they've been for at least a week or so. They've been the best team in the AL. 89-62 is their record. They got a 5-game lead over the Yankees and a 7-game lead over the pathetic Boston Red Sox. In the NL Central, the Detroit Tigers running away with that division right now, 85-66. They've got a 5.5-game lead over the Cleveland Guardians. That's really all they got to worry about, and they don't even really have to worry about that. Then you've got what's been, to me at least, watching a fun race right now in the AL West. And most people don't get to watch the AL West because no one cares about watching Seattle and Houston or any of that other stuff. But the Seattle Mariners right now with Big Dumper, who we're going to talk about in just a little bit, have a half-game lead over the Houston Astros right now. The Mariners are 83-68. The Astros are 83-69. Nice. If the playoffs were to start today, you would have those division winners. You would have the Tigers. You would have the Mariners. You would have the Blue Jays as your division winners. And then your 3 playoff teams would be the New York Yankees, the Houston Astros, and then the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox with a 2.5-game lead over the Cleveland Guardians and a 3.5-game lead over the Texas Rangers. I feel safe saying that Kansas City is out of it. Tampa Bay is out of it. Teams that are already mathematically eliminated in the AL, the Chicago White Sox, well, no shit. The Minnesota Twins and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I don't even know if they go by Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim anymore. That's just what I call them because I love being a jerk. Checking out other areas, making sure we are still good. Yeah, we're good. We are good. We are on air all over the place. The AL race to me isn't as fun, though, as the National League race. And I'm going to go check out the standings of the National League right now. Division leaders are the Philadelphia Phillies, who are running away. The Mets, like we got to remember, at the middle part, maybe it's been a month or so, in August, the Mets were like right there, neck and neck with the Philadelphia Phillies. Augustine said, I thought you were talking about eliminated, and I was going to say the Cowboys are already eliminated. Ha, 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 ha. Augustine saying, do people really care about baseball season? This coming from the guy right now that was telling us about Atletico Madrid and Liverpool in the Champions League match today. I would say there are more people that care about baseball in this country and watching this show than there are that care about soccer. Full stop. I don't even think that's up for a debate. Much less Atletico de Madrid and Liverpool. Pull the liver, I hardly know her. That was stupid. The Philadelphia Phillies, a 12.5-game lead over the New York Metropolitans. The Milwaukee Brewers, the best record in baseball right now by a game over the Philadelphia Phillies, 92-59 on the season, a 5-game lead over the Chicago Cubs. The Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. This has been a fun race to watch this whole time. The Los Angeles Dodgers are 84-67. The San Diego Padres are 82-69. Nice. Tommy was letting us know everything that was going on there. The Crooked Commish saying that he's hearing that it's going to be a 50-50 game on Sunday. That game's in Chicago, right? Like, where are the Cowboys playing? Looking it up right now. Yep, that game's in Chicago. Most games are 50-50 crowds for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, if we're being honest, right? Like, say what you will. And this is why they will continue to have and always forever will be, quote unquote, America's team, is because the fans don't have to travel. Dallas Cowboys fans are everywhere. Just everywhere. You go to an Arizona Cardinals versus Cowboys game in Phoenix, and it's a 50-50 crowd. You go to that game in San Francisco, it's a 50-50 crowd. Hell, last year we saw it in LA. It was a 50-50 crowd with the Rams, the Chargers, and the Cowboys. It was all about that team. That's why, to me, like, it's America. I know people hate that moniker. I'm not a big fan of it myself, but that's why they are America's team, because it doesn't matter where they go, they are going to have a 50-50 crowd for the most part. And then in the playoffs, but like that amazing crowd that shows up just doesn't buy playoff tickets because we know how it's going to be. But I'm not surprised in hearing that at all about like Chicago having a 50-50 crowd with the Dallas Cowboys. I think I'd be more surprised if it was like Philadelphia, right? Like this first game against Philadelphia, you knew that was all a Philly crowd. There was a smattering of Dallas Cowboys fans there, but it's mainly just the like it's always a 50-50 crowd. Another great game on tap, Bayern Munich versus Chelsea. Two amazing games in Championship League. I feel like Augustine's just talking to himself at this point. Augustine, we are going to have to put you on cancel alert for the American sports scene. Don't forget. Bistrilla and Tommy, they have the ability to just take your comments away. They were doing it the other day. Don't poke the bear. That's all I'm saying, my guy. It can happen. With great power comes great responsibility, Strilla and Tommy. That's why I'm saying, like, the Dallas Cowboys, hate them, love them. Most people hate them. A lot of people love them. Their fans are everywhere, literally everywhere. So it doesn't surprise me if it's going to be a 50-50 crowd in Chicago. I still think it's going to be a great game. I am looking forward to this game because this feels like a get-right game for both teams. And Ben Johnson versus the Dallas Cowboys, for whatever reason, Ben Johnson has game plans. Again, like, just let's make the Dallas Cowboys look bad. I'm interested to see how Jadeveon Clowney looks with the Dallas Cowboys. I know he's only going to be there for, third and long, obvious, clear pass rush situations, which I'm all about. Imagine if the Dallas Cowboys had a really good pass rusher right now, how good their defense might be. God, I hate that I love them. Getting back into Major League Baseball, though. They're your division leaders in the NL. The Phillies, the Brewers, and the Dodgers as of right now. Going over to the wild card, if my mouse will work, there we go. Going over to the wild card standings. If the wild card were to start today, it would be the Cubs, the Padres, and the Mets. But the Mets only have a 1.5 game lead over the Arizona Diamondbacks and a 3-game lead over the Cincinnati Reds and the San Francisco Giants. You can still say maybe the St. Louis Cardinals are alive in this, 4.5 games back. But that's only because we have been watching a catastrophic collapse, if you've been watching baseball at all, a catastrophic collapse of the New York Metropolitans. This team has just been bad. Like, they won last night. They've won 2 games in a row. following a 10-game losing streak. Like they're 2-8 in their last 10, and they've had a 2-game winning streak right now. They're objectively not a great team. Like, if there's a team that I want to face in the playoffs, it would be the New York Mets right now. Without a shadow of a doubt. I would be all over the New York Mets right now. Tommy Canazzo saying, watch yourself, Augustine. He's getting close. He's getting close to making sure those soccer comments don't come through. Bistrilla letting us know that Dallas is out for revenge on Ben Johnson from last season. I really hope they are. Like, I legitimately hope they are. Like, when the Lions put up, was it 50 points on the Cowboys? I want to say it was, right? Let's go back and check this out. $47. My bad. It was 47 points. 47-9. If there was a chance right now for the Dallas Cowboys to embarrass the Chicago Bears, put the Bears at 0-3, a position that I didn't necessarily think that they would be. If the Dallas Cowboys have that opportunity, they got to get that bad taste out of it. Like, they should have beat down the New York Giants. Obviously, that's a division game. You expect a little more, blah, blah, blah. If they're really out looking for revenge, then I am here for it. Augustine's saying, soccer is the number one sport in the world, and it takes some sort of IQ to follow it. Yes, it does. I'm assuming the same amount of IQ that it takes for you to answer your own question that wasn't really a question, using ellipses in the wrong way because there's not supposed to be a space between the word and the ellipses. They're supposed to be together. The guy kicks the ball to the other guy, who holds it for a few minutes and then kicks it to the other guy while the other team tries not to kick the ball or tries to kick the ball away from them. It doesn't take any IQ to follow any sport. You can be the dumbest son of a bitch out there and follow a sport because it's a sport. It's just boring. That's all. Like, at least in baseball, you got the chance of seeing a dude hit a bomb, right? A pitcher throwing 100 miles an hour, a little projectile that they're aiming at some dude. Like that. I mean, if you want to talk about analytics and stuff like that, let's talk about how there's so much more analytics and intelligent analytics in baseball and football and basketball than there is in soccer. I would love to see if there's even any analytics. Let's see what soccer analytics are. All right, soccer analytics. And we'll do that. Reading. Ooh, team expected goals. Not all shots are equal. A shot closer to the goal is obviously more valuable than a shot farther from the goal. Oh my God. You mean the closer you get to the net, the more chance you have of scoring? What? That is wild. I would have never. You know what? You're right. Super complex, the game of soccer. Oh my Lord. I would have never thought about that. The closer you are to the goal, the easier it might be for you to score. Huh. Man, you are so right. That is wow. That my mind is blown right now. Ooh, player expected goals. Players may get high quality shots players that get high quality shots tend to score a lot of goals. Players that get a lot of shots tend to score a lot of goals. Man, it's almost like saying if you just shoot a whole bunch, some of them got to go in. Whew, whew. Man, that is, I don't know if my puny little brain can hang up with these analytics. Goalkeeper expected goals. For goalkeepers, expected goals relates to how difficult a save is. A keeper's goal save above expected measures shots stopping ability. How many goals did a goalkeeper save than an average keeper would have? Wow. I mean, it's almost like, man, that was a really awesome save that goalkeeper just did right now. I wonder if everyone can do that. And you'd be like, no, more than likely not. Augustine just sent me an article right now, which I guess is going to talk about how intense and smart you have to be for soccer to be a game. And it's all about the whole thing that soccer is a continuous game, that it never ends, which is why the games don't end in a tie, which is, okay, we get it. It's always just one big, long game. Awesome. Bistrel saying, yes, soccer is the number one sport, but not because it's that popular. It's so many teams, pro and amateur, meaning it's flooding the sports market. Ding, 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 ding. Right there. And it's easier to play everywhere, right? Like you play it in a third world country because all you need is a little ball that you can kick around with a handful of guys. It's not like football. That's why basketball is the second most popular sport in the world. Baseball's getting there, right? The reason why you don't have a lot of baseball teams around like other third world countries or anything like that, even though you do have a lot, especially in the Americas, is because it's hard to get 9 dudes, sometimes 10, 11 together. Not just dudes, dudettes too. Let me tell you something, sister, brother. You can play baseball. To get them together to play the game at a continuous bait, right? Where all you need is just a handful of people. You can kick a soccer ball around. The same thing with basketball. You can play one-on-one. You can do one-on-one drills, 2-on-2 drills in soccer. That's why those sports are so popular. One, they flood the market. There's a million soccer teams. I'm joking. Obviously, someone's going to be like, Tip, there's not a million soccer teams. Why are you being so exaggerated right now? So let's find out. How many professional soccer teams are there? There are 4,400 professional soccer teams worldwide. $4,400 worldwide. There are currently 211 professional soccer leagues worldwide. 211 professional leagues worldwide. Now let's compare that to the NFL. Also, there's like 3. Yeah, you got 3. Basically 3. 3 of them. 3 professional American football leagues. The NFL, the UFL, and I'm even adding one in that shouldn't be added in because it's the Canadian Football League and it's completely different. A completely different thing. Augustine saying 2 million. Tommy Canazza saying 1 million, and I don't care about a single one. Ha, 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 ha. Augustine replies back to that. Look, man, I get it. You love soccer. We all have something that we love. And all of you love. I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough.
for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by www.myhappynuts.com. If you're watching soccer and you're in a third world country and you've just got swamp ass all over the place, then you need to make sure you are taking care of yourself as best you can. The www.myhappynuts comfort cream is the best way to make sure your boys ain't sticking to yourself. You ain't got to do the stanky leg or any of that other nonsense. You ain't got to worry about swamp ass all the time, walking around in the heat and the humidity. You're at a football game surrounded by a bunch of Dallas Cowboys fans, and you're in Chicago, lonely as all hell, because you're like, oh my God, this is supposed to be the Chicago Bears Stadium. And it's getting hot because your team is just absolute dog shit, and the Dallas Cowboys are running up the score on you. Well, you got to make sure you're comfortable too. With www.myhappynuts.com comfort cream, the anti-chafe stick. Don't get your legs all chapped up and chafed up because you go free balling at the stadium. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. According to FIFA, there are currently 3,903 professional soccer teams in the world, operating in 201 different companies or countries. The Cricket Commission saying, Jesus, Mike, I was about to buy something, and then you started talking all that crap at the end. Damn it. I wasn't talking about you, Commish. I was talking about just in general. Now, if you feel like that, like that was targeted at you, I apologize. That was not what was supposed to happen. Augustine saying, just because I'm in Mexico's doesn't mean it's a third world country. LOL. I didn't say it was. I just said hypothetically, if you're in a third world country, swampy, Ecuador, right? Like it's always the same temperature, but humid. You don't want to have that swamp ass. The Crooked Commish saying that he is all here for it. I think I'm just projecting because I know the Cowboys are going to be bad and I want other teams to be bad with me. I think that's all it is. That's all it comes down to. I don't want to be lonely in my team being so terrible. Like I want other teams to be, I want you to suffer with me. And objectively, only like out of the people that are, super vocal on the show right now, Strill is the only one that's got like a legitimate shot of like maybe this team can win a Super Bowl. And I'm still kind of iffy on them now. All of our teams have been bad recently. That's why this community comes together. Mutual disappointment brings people together more than mutual love and respect does. Okay. So we were talking a little bit about Major League Baseball and everything that was going on in the world of Major League Baseball. B-Strill saying Dallas ain't bad. Miami is bad. Oh, yeah. No, they've got their 0-2 doesn't feel the same as anyone else's 0-2, right? Like the Bears, you're like, that team's 0-2, but they've got some pieces they can work with. Miami, you're looking at that 0-2, and you're like, Jesus Christ, this team aged like a banana left out in the sun. Like it is not looking good. Not looking good at all for the Miami Dolphins. But I was talking about the Seattle Mariners a little bit earlier and like how they've been in this awesome race with the Houston Astros as we get here towards the end of the regular season with MLB baseball. And yesterday, the guy with the best nickname in sports right now, Big Dumper Cal Raleigh, broke a record that was held by Mickey Mantle and then tied Ken Griffey Jr. He broke Mickey Mantle's record, the most home runs by a switch hitter, and then tied Ken Griffey Jr.'s most home runs by a Seattle Mariner, which is just mind-blowing to me. And this goes back to this, like if this was happening in 1998, right? People would be all about it. He's got the chase for 60. He's looking at 60 right now, and they still kind of should be, right? Like it's awesome. A guy hitting 60 home runs isn't something that you see all that often. But it just goes to talk about like how regionally specified Major League Baseball has become. Like, it doesn't feel like it's a national sport anymore, right? And it's kind of the same thing with soccer. That's kind of the same thing with hockey, right? You have little regions that cheer for specific things. And the NBA feels like it's going this way now as well. With the NFL, that's a national sport. Like everyone is all about the NFL all over the place. But I feel like unless you're in a region with a Major League Baseball team, with a Major League Soccer team, with a hockey team, and they're like right around your region, you don't care. Not as much as you do about like your NFL team. Because this should be a huge story right now. A catcher. He's a catcher. Catchers don't do this. A switch hitting catcher with 56 home runs. Like, it's just crazy to me that this is like kind of where we've been. Tommy Canazza saying Miami should be trading everyone. I really think that's what's going to – I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it's hard for me to see Tyreek Hill going back to Kansas City, but it wouldn't be surprising if he went. But if you're Kansas City, is that the receiver you want? Do you want Tyreek Hill? Is that better than like maybe you get Jalen Waddle? Tommy Canazza saying, I'm walking into Whataburger and I don't have my earbuds with me. So please be on your best behavior, Mike. I'm trying. I will try my best. Miami is the reason why there should be some kind of promotion relegation dynamic to sports in the USA. There should be consequences to tanking. This is the thing, Augustine. I don't think they're tanking. I think Chris Greer, who is the general manager of the Miami Dolphins, and Mike McDaniel came into this season thinking that this team would be okay, right? Like, you're not going to win the AFC East because we all kind of figure that's going to be Buffalo's division. But you can be a fringe playoff team. But we saw this team, the way they performed against Indianapolis, the way they performed against the Patriots, and we can say right now that team is just bad. Like we can all look at that team right now and be like, they're bad. And the worst part about it is it's just the tip of the season.
I just want to put the tip in. It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable. Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
That was just for you, Tommy. Me and Augustine were on the same page. I don't like what I have become, being on the same page with Augustine. Hopefully that got a little laugh out of her. I could just imagine Tommy right there turning down his phone as fast as he possibly could. The numbers went down. Tommy stopped watching. That was good, though. You got to give me that. That was good. The curveball coming out of nowhere right there. But yes, Augustine, I believe. Tommy saying, you asshole. I waited until after just the tip to come in here. Oh, man, I can see everyone at Whataburger looking at Tommy right now. Augustine saying you should breathe during the show. LOL. What are you talking about? I've got no problems breathing during the show. I just don't like breathing into a microphone. I do it all the time. And he's Tommy calling me an a-hole. I just imagine like you place your order like, yo, I'll have a large number 5, no onions, grilled jalapenos, extra bacon, extra cheese. Load that sumbitch up. All right, cool. Here's my cash. Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Oh, I bathe. My bad. Bathe, like taking a bath during the show, so we are connected. LOL. That will never happen unless you subscribe to my OnlyFans, which is launching again on Monday. What? Did I just break news here? What? Hey, sometimes it's hard out here for a pimp. There's going to be a handful of people that get that reference, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Can I get a number 5 and adjust a tip? Oh, man. Extra tip, please. Extra tip, please. I make my own barbecue sauce, and I call it tip sauce. And I very sexually drizzle it on the meat. I was going to say on my meat, but that sounds even worse. I guess there's no way of saying it where it doesn't sound bad. But I very sexually just drizzle it on that meat. So your meat is covered in tip sauce. Beef Trill saying pimping ain't easy, but it's necessary 100%. Pimping ain't easy, but somebody's got to do it. We all know that. Oh, man, this show took a turn. I was talking about Big Dumper, and then all of a sudden we played Adjust the Tip for the Miami Dolphins, talking about how bad they were, just to see what Tommy's reaction will be. I wish I could have seen it. I genuinely wish I could have seen it. Yep, tip sauce. I'll show you all the video. I put up a video of how I make my homemade barbecue sauce on my TikTok. Once again, at Mr. Tipton 33 is all of my social media handles. I have a video up of me making the tip sauce. I used to call it Sauce O the Tip because I wanted to sound like a chef. But my barbecue sauce, tip sauce. Just drizzle a little bit of it on your meat, baby. Slinging that meat, baby. That's what we're doing here on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton as we are live on a Wednesday. Okay, so Tommy's saying that he literally drove slow so that he wouldn't walk into Whataburger during just the tip. I could just picture him sitting in the parking lot like he's going to play it right now. He's going to play it right now. Oh, there it is. Let me wait the 30 seconds. Let's get through the My Happy Nuts promo. Now I can walk in and I can look like a decent human being and not have all the eyes. The eyes of Whataburger are upon you as you order, and all of a sudden, slapped with just the tip. Oh, I like that. I want to get a shirt made that says slapped with just the tip. I am looking up right now so we can go over them real quick. Injury reports in the NFL. I did see an article, and I heard from Jordan Mailata, the offensive lineman for the Philadelphia Eagles, who was complaining about how people are saying that Eagles' success only comes from the tush push, which yes and no, right? Like there is an argument to be made that the tush push is a really crappy play, right? Like it just kind of takes stuff away. Obviously, there was video and stuff like that came out following the Kansas City game on that final tush push where you can clearly see two offensive linemen from the Philadelphia Eagles going, false starting basically, but the flag not being thrown. If you're going to allow the play to exist in the NFL, then you need to officiate the play like every other play in the NFL. That's my spiel on it, right? If you're going to allow it to exist, then you need to make sure that it's officiated the exact same way that every other play is. Because we have seen time after time that the Philadelphia Eagles line up one in the neutral zone. So instead of having the formation they need to have, they'll have, another offensive lineman right next to the center, which you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be a little off center from the center. And every now and then they will false start, which is obviously it's going to happen. You've got a lot of big, beefy men slapping beef against each other. You don't want to be the one that gets off late. Hey, yo. But if you're going to say that this is a legal play in the NFL, then the flag needs to be thrown whenever there is a false start. And I'm not saying it happens all the time. I've seen it a handful of times. We're talking about a team here that has gotten, 21 touchdowns off of the tush push since it came into its existence in 2021, 22, something like that. They've had a ton of success with it. Is it the only reason why they have success? No. They're a Super Bowl champion team. It's not the only reason why they have success. But if you're Jordan Mailata and you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you cannot sit back and say, oh, I'm just so tired of people being like, oh, man, this tush push, it's the only reason why you guys have success is because of the tush push and blah, 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 blah. Because it is a contributing factor, right? It's your cheat code. You don't have a traditional 1st and 10 because you basically can, anytime it's, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, whatever, you've got an unstoppable play. And good for you. Keep running it until people can stop it. It's the same thing with the Dallas Cowboys, right? Like, you don't have to play on a whole field, basically. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, you can get to the 45-yard line and kick a field goal. You're getting points because you have a cheat code in Brandon Aubrey. Every team has something that's their cheat code, right? But the difference between every other team's cheat code, the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, the Dallas Cowboys with Brandon Aubrey, right? The difference that they have is that they are officiated the same and equally time after time. The tush push is not officiated equally. Otherwise, the false starts would be called. The illegal formations would be called. The illegal shifting would be called. And we saw that they had a problem with it last year because that's where the focus for the NFL was we need to make sure that this play is being ran legally. And it's not being ran legally all the time. And if you allow the Eagles to continue to get away with it, then it's going to become a problem. You cannot have your offensive line start a split second before the center hikes the ball and still call that a legal play. It's just not supposed to happen that way. That is objectively a false start. But hey, until someone can stop it, keep running it. But also don't be upset. What's the thing that he says? Jordan Mailata said that it is incredibly disrespectful to impact the Eagles to the impact the Eagles defense had and the special teams had in a 20-17 victory over Kansas City. Saying, quote, I understand the outrage over the tush push. What I don't understand is them using it as an excuse as to why we won the game. I think it's incredibly disrespectful to our defense and our special teams who balled out. And my brothers on defense and special teams who balled out that game, who had our backs when we weren't moving the ball or weren't doing anything. Mailata goes on to say, it pisses me off because we give so much to this game and to kind of base off a short yardage play that is a football play and say that we won the game off of that, but not how our defense played and not how our special teams have played, putting us in those positions. I think it's bullcrap. Again, it takes a whole team effort to win. I don't think anybody disputes that. But if you're running the tush push, and I don't know, I'll have to go back and see, and I'm probably not going to do it, how many times they ran the tush push in that particular game. But if that's like your bread and butter play, and everyone knows it's your bread and butter play, then it kind of is the secret recipe that you have to your success. It's a secret sauce. It's your version of the tip sauce for your success. Embrace it, dude. Like why hate on it? Embrace it. Be like, yeah, the tush push is the reason why we won. We got a fourth down. We converted on fourth down, despite the fact that we had a false start. We converted. We won the game. Yeah, the tush push. It won the game for us. Because if you give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes, even with this weird place that we're in right now, where we don't know what to expect out of the Kansas City Chiefs, we know that if you give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes with a minute left, it is a terrifying proposition because we've seen him win games with 13 seconds on the clock. We've seen Patrick Mahomes. There's not a quarterback you trust in today's NFL more than Patrick Mahomes to lead a game-winning drive. So, yeah, the tush push is why you won the game. You were able to ice the game that way, 3 knees, and go home. Embrace that shit, man. Don't sit there and be like, oh, no, it's not the reason why we won. Yeah, it is. Teams have to try to game plan for it, and there's no way they can stop it. Like they just can't. Especially if you're allowed to start off side, like to false start and still get the playoff. I was rewatching yesterday on the NFL Network the Dallas Cowboys versus Giants game. And, I got to look up the guy's name right now. Was it Hudson? Yeah. The Giants offensive lineman, James Hudson, who was flagged for 4 penalties on one drive, but all of them on consecutive plays. 2 of them 15 yards, 5 yards here and there, half of the distance to the goal because you're already so far behind, and you're looking at 3rd and 39, which I believe they converted against the Dallas Cowboys, which was kind of wild that the Dallas Cowboys defense is that bad. But I was watching that game, and I'm like, you are watching a human being self-destruct, like in real time. And I watched the game on Sunday. There was no sound because I was in the studio for the baseball game. So I didn't get like the full gravity of what was going on. And then I saw these plays. Just one play, 15-yard penalty. Next play, false start. Next play, 15-yard penalty. Next play, false start. Back to back to back to back. And I just thought to myself, this dude is done, right? Like there's no way you're putting him back in any type of scenario. Like he is your bench dude now. I want to see what's going to happen here. It was on the opening drive, which is kind of crazy. That's the way the game starts, is you just getting penalty after penalty after penalty. It's so, like it's one of those funny things to me. I love it. Because I don't think we will ever see that again. One person getting 39 yards worth of penalties on them in one drive. In one specific drive. We will never, ever see that again. Apparently it has happened, though. Wow, I did not know that. Okay. The Giants racked up 6 total penalties to begin the game on the opening drive, and then 5 during the first drive. 4 of those penalties belonged to left tackle James Hudson, who was starting Sunday in place of the injured Andrew Thomas. According to CBS Sports Research, Hudson is the first player since at least 2000 to commit 4 penalties on the same drive. So I guess it has happened before, but it is still one of those things where I'm just like, you're watching someone self-destruct, brother. They put his ass on the bench, and we're like, never again. Never again shall we hear from this guy. And I was all about it. Man. All right. Tomorrow is Thursday. That means we've got Thursday night football. I believe that is the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. the Miami Dolphins, and the Buffalo Bills. That is like the first couple of Thursday night games have been okay. Like the matchups we saw were okay. Dallas, Philadelphia, you're like, yeah, that's a rivalry. Of course we want to watch that game. Commanders, Green Bay, you're like, of course I want to watch that game. These are two teams that have a lot of playoff implications going with them. And then you get fed on a silver platter. What introduces us to week 3 is just the turd burger of Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo should win that game by 50 points. I'm being facetious, but they should win that game by a lot. I want to see what the spread is right now. And obviously tomorrow we're going to break it down a little bit. The spread is on Buffalo to win by 11.5 points. 11.5 points. Normally, whenever I get a spread that big, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way the team is going to lose by that much. Like, I have a hard time, 10 and more. I always have a hard time being like, yeah, I can see a team losing by a touchdown and a field goal. It happens from time to time, don't get me wrong. But I feel like there's a lot more parity in the NFL, and blowouts are a bit more abnormal than what they used to be. But I can 100% see a scenario where the Buffalo Bills just absolutely wreck this game. Bistro saying it was 12.5 earlier. I'm sure that line is going to be fluctuating as we get closer to the time of kickoff. Kirk Kamish, I will see you a little bit later on tonight. I'm going to see if I will be home in time. I'm hoping I am for the National Professional Unprofessional Sports Show. Maybe I can be a part of that. We will all see. But tomorrow is Thursday. We kick off the NFL season. Join me later on tonight with the Crooked Commish on the Chicago Clubhouse Network. Looking forward to all that stuff. Everyone, thank you once again so much for the support. We will see you all tomorrow as we break down Thursday Night Football.